big things are happening at Trench Crusade. Big.
Are they?
At the booth at Adepticon.
You actually went there?
I did. I did a... It was a small booth.
You walked in and out. Okay.
You could try on hats and hold.
I was going to ask, why was there a booth?
Hold the
again?
rifle.
They don't sell anything.
They made big money.
Big money.
Yeah, you could buy a patch for your bag.
I saw a lot of props that you could play with.
Look,
I saw like a
it was a prop booth.
Cosplay something.
It was they had a little table to look at, not to play on though. You could only, no, don't touch that, please. Yeah. And they had some minis on display.
I'm really glad they
painted.
were there. Really glad. They were
you know what's funny is I had two things I wanted to buy. I was like I would spend money on in the vendor hall. I was like, number one, I was gonna get some Marvel dice, like I usually get some dice from the Dice Baron, our boy
the Baron.
And number two was I was like, you know what? I think if there's a Trench Crusade rulebook, I might pick it up because I like physical books.
Yeah,
and I was gonna put it beside my Wartime book on the shelf whenever at home.
Yeah, sure. Sure. You'll never read it.
And I could. There was nothing to buy. There was nothing to buy at the booth, but. It was rammed full of people all weekend.
Yeah, of course.
So let's unpack that because I think it's I think it's actually quite symbolic of Trench Crusade. The fact that I love this picture of like there's this booth, there's nothing to buy.
True.
But it's full of people
that
want to talk about it and are excited about it.
Yes.
Is that not just like Trench Crusade? Like, isn't that...
It is, actually.
That is exactly what Trench Crusade is right now.
It is.
At the retail level, it's what it is online.
Yeah.
It's a cultural phenomenon in the miniature wargaming world.
Mm-hmm. It's also the most hollow.
I think... Look, I don't blame... I think the Trench Crusade guys were smart to get a booth there.
Yeah, sure, of course.
Because for them...
It is actually good. Yeah.
They're trying to keep this like flame alive. Mm-hmm. Right, because this flame can lead to more money.
Yeah,
if they're sensible and they figure things out, and whether that's more Kickstarters, whether that's retailer products, their job is to like safeguard the embers of this like flame that's going right now. And I guess you could say that the booth was successful in doing that. It seemed like there's a lot of people. Like I couldn't believe. I was just trying to get a picture with just like of the booth, and there were so many people in the way all weekend or whatever. I couldn't get my picture properly or whatever.
Yes.
For this YouTube video we wanted to make, but I don't know. I don't even know if there's too much to discuss, but I just found it to be absolutely fascinating.
Yeah. No, I mean, you almost get the sense that even the makers of this product can't believe. I think it's true. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, no disrespect. There's a lot of quality, smart people behind this project. But I think they were probably like, this is a cool idea. We got some, the right kind of, got the art style and the right designers. If we can hit our goal, we'll be thrilled or whatever. And it's like kind of exploded well beyond, I think, their imagination. And they're almost like, and I don't blame them, they don't have a follow-up because it takes time to follow
exactly,
stuff up.
Yeah.
And so they're just trying to keep, like you said, this like little excitement going however they can. And, having a booth is, I wonder if it was their choice or if someone was like, hey, I'll run a booth for you.
They ran it,
yeah. But the unpreparedness was there because there was literally nothing, like you said. And I could tell you, even though it would be a little bit antithesis, but the game, obviously is all about like you pledged and then you just got like STLs. And you could just start printing right away. Yeah. I think there was pledges you could buy where they would print it for you, I believe, maybe.
They did have that, yep. I'm not even sure if that's delivered yet. So
the funny thing is, and so maybe this is all just moot because they just didn't have time to do it. Although maybe you could argue they could have maybe stopped what they were doing a little bit and like got something together that wasn't just a bag patch and some knickknacks. But they probably, if they had books, terrain, and even their models printed for sale. Like, I'm one of those idiots
Sure.
But
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I walk by and there's
Yeah.
like physical minis I can touch and a pack of them, like this happened a few years ago with Dark
happened many
Age.
times, yeah.
With Dark Age, Dark Age was almost like the best example because like I walked by and there's all these pretty minis. I'm like, I'm never gonna play this game, and a guy's shoving a box in my hand.
Well,
He's like,
and that person is Dave Taylor, so
is Dave Taylor, yeah. That person was Dave Taylor, yeah. And he's
a dangerous
just not
man.
just a person.
He's a
Anyway,
dangerous man.
he's shoving a box in my hand. He's like, yo, right now, if you buy this and this, I'm going to throw in these base toppers and da and there's like also there's a coupon for this. And I was like, $200 later.
Yep.
And this is literally a pile of minis that I did not open.
No.
I don't know I think I gave them away.
You might have given it to Maddie. He loves.
I think I gave them
Dark
to Maddie.
Age.
Yeah. And so that could have easily happened here.
Yep.
Like,
you could have been that mistake.
you could have,
Trench Crusade.
You could have done
I
that.
wanted you to be my mistake. Or
And
whatever.
then how funny would that be if some, one of the many people that approached us and said hello at the con, which blew my mind, by the way.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Very, very much appreciative of all that and nice meeting everyone. Wouldn't that have been a fantastic photo of someone quietly snapping a shot?
They got Jay from
Me with all
Lords of
this,
War with he's like no, with his Trench Crusade Paul or whatever.
And I'm turns out I'm just like a closeted like.
He's got his little bucket hat on too.
Yeah. It could have happened, but it didn't. It didn't. Actually, you went into the thing, and I quickly moved away so that I wouldn't be seen next to it at all. I just didn't. It was. To me, I'm not one of those people. When I see the people going nuts about just like nothing, I just like, no, I'm good. I'm gonna go over here and busy myself with anything else. So.
I had to figure out why. I was like, what's going on?
There's a lot of
here?
why.
Like, what's happening in here?
But that's probably just a simple marketing thing. Like if you're like we say all the time, if you have a presence, then that the illusion is you just people are like, oh wow, okay, well,
Yeah.
like if a company stops going,
then
you just like we joke or whatever. But if like a weird miniatures or something just didn't have a booth, we'd be like, oh, is it done? Is it closed?
Is it now? We're calling it.
They close it down.
Or even sometimes like we see the booth get smaller and we're just like, oh,
the sizing, yeah,
the sizing might be the worst.
Sizing is size matters. These things. Remember?
Remember
the Steam Forge of 2018 or whatever it was. And
Steam Forge.
Although I think they were pretty big against
that would have been that's one of my like probably all-time moments of wow factor. A company just absolutely knocked it out of the park was that Guild Ball. That Guild Ball booth that was like had like 4 pillars.
Yeah.
And they had demos at every side or whatever. And they were just rocking Guild Ball demos.
We were playing all week. Yeah.
All weekend, and just selling the hell out of Guild Ball.
Yeah.
It was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's when Byron was still helping run that company.
Was he?
Before he left.
Yeah.
Before he left.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
That's not a surprise why it didn't
Probably.
go well after. So I think the Trench Crusade guys knew they had to show up. They had to have something to present, because to me, the fact that they're willing to commit to doing that, I think says that they do have some plans beyond what they're doing right now.
Yep.
And I think someone was telling us that one of the people commenting on one of the videos said that we're horrible sometimes at doing research for these videos, but
we don't do any.
Well, we're not paid to do it. Okay, we run a hobby store.
I mean, it's very.
This is bonus, basically. Like if you're
obvious that we just turn a camera on and we don't actually fact check anything.
If you're,
might as well be like, we're the terrible news that doesn't check anything or whatever. Yeah.
But someone has said that they're going to be doing retailer products.
Yeah.
What that ends up looking like,
does it matter?
No idea. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting.
So what? So I'm going to sell some products that people have been printing for. I'm so excited.
It's a bit. I mean, like to me, I put it in like the Frostgrave category, where it's like you might for a year or two make a little bit of money selling the books.
Yeah.
And maybe a few kits for people, but I do have a hard time like thinking that it's going to be a sustainable thing at the retail level, unless they do something completely 180 and like the miniatures that they make for retail are retail exclusive and they don't make STLs of them.
There's things they can try.
There's some stuff they could do. Yeah, there's something.
And even then, what would the reality be here? Like maybe a starter box and a few small kits, and that's probably it.
Yeah,
and that would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it would crack the wall in any really significant lineup or whatever. There's
No,
nothing wrong with that.
no,
There's
no,
lots of
no.
there's games big and small and
Yep.
skirmish this and that, but you know they just I think they just hit everything at the right time, and along with the you can have it now.
Yeah,
That
and
recipe.
let's not forget that
It's going to be copied now.
the reason. Oh, for sure, people will try and copy
They'll be copying
this
this,
formula.
like-
But let's not forget one of its probably greatest assets is that it is not an expensive game, right? Like
Sure.
you probably like, and that's to some degree very counterintuitive with getting on a retail shelf, right? It's like if you only need one crew to have like a full gaming experience for like, you know, I don't know, there's not going to be much sales potential there, right? For a store like ours,
Yeah.
it's not going to push something off that's, you know, wants you to build an army or
Probably not.
keep
Probably
you
not.
coming back for sales in the future. So I don't know. It's a weird thing. It's just interesting as it very much has become entrenched into the culture.
And I don't know about you. I it probably was, but I didn't witness a game. Maybe it was in the ballroom downstairs or something. Or
I couldn't tell you if
Yeah.
it was being played. I don't know where it
Considering
was. Yeah.
how many people bought in and how accessible it was, you would think there would be a large amount of people playing it somewhere.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah.
like more in a spot that you couldn't miss. But
And in my mind, I like an event, an intimate sort of Trench Crusade event in one of those like breakout rooms or whatever would be pretty cool. I'm reminded of
Yeah.
there's this European event for Mordheim that happens every year, where people travel from all over the world to play this Mordheim event, and people go absolutely bonkers on the tables,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And it's
Yeah.
just like it just oozes with theme, and
it would lend itself really well.
that to me, that's what I think of Trench Crusade. I'm like that would be like absolutely great to have that at Adepticon every year in like a little room or whatever. And so we'll see if it actually morphs into that. Like that's something it could be at some point in the future, if it has the staying power, right? Like Mordheim's a cultural institution. Like it's stuck around because people have fond memories and they've been in the hobby 30 years,
Yeah.
30 or 40 years or whatever.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I don't know. Do we actually solve anything here?
No.
I don't think so.
This is the most filler thing. Everyone knows we have nothing
Look.
to say about this.
People needed to hear about Trench Crusade, okay?
I know.
And
Maybe this
we're-
is like a you know good for maybe I don't have to talk about this for the rest of the year. Maybe hopefully. Well, I wonder what timestamp guy's gonna do now. He's got the whole video is like
It's 001 or whatever, and then that's it.
That's it.
It's the whole video.
oh
or
my
whatever,
god. Yeah. Honestly, it's. I mean, again, I guess the last little thought is if we went by optics, it would look like it was nothing. Like it was a insignificant. I would, if I didn't know it was a big Kickstarter phenomenon, I walked through and I would assume that this is some little indie company that makes garbage or like just some random little.
I would have been like, oh, they
steampunky
sell custom props or something.
or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I wouldn't know that.
Yeah, I
this is
wonder-
like apparently, whatever 3 million whatever's buying big ass Kickstarter.
There have to be some people that, like, not everyone's terminally online, right? Like I imagine there's a lot of people that just don't know about Trench Crusade and probably had that very
the
experience
whole
where
thing.
they
I've
just,
said this before. It's
Yeah.
very like reminiscent of Kingdom Death to me.
Mm.
When Kingdom Death arrived, like 5, 6, 7 years ago, it was this phenomenon. It was like, look at this guy making this crazy Dark Soulsy horror game with these really nice models that are freaky and weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's this crazy elaborate board game. It was almost like Hushed. Have you played Kingdom Death? Like it
No,
was
no
like
one
it
has.
wasn't. When you went to play it, it was this like insane game.
it was insane. Yeah.
Quite literally, and it had all this stuff, and I remember the guy with the Kickstarter kept like being like, "No, I need more." He was eccentric. He would do things like, "I'm delaying the Kickstarter 2 months because I got the dice made and they didn't roll the way I liked, so I'm going to make them again." And just stuff like he would.
So eccentric.
He
Yeah.
was trying to make the Ferrari of board games or something.
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
he did, and then people would talk about it and then even bring it up in the store when the store was new, and I'd be like, "There's nothing for me to sell you, so I don't care. I can't even stock it if I wanted to."
Right.
And it felt very much like of that time, like the way people would come and talk about it, like it's this like big deal, and I guess it was, but I don't know. At the end of the day, it didn't really matter. Like it's good product, and people that got it eventually enjoyed it, but I don't know. It's
Yeah, I guess the real interesting thing is whether they can whether there's going to become another Kingdom Death, or they're going to try to leverage into something a bit more permanent or whatever. And permanent doesn't mean on the hobby shop shelf necessarily. It just means are they going to be a small indie game that sticks around?
Yeah.
And next year at Adepticon, are we going to see physical products for sale? Because that'll be really telling, right?
That would be big.
That would be really telling.
I think they could definitely get there.
What do you folks think about Trench Crusade? Are you still are you so tired of hearing about this? Are you
just give me more?
You're give me more.
Yeah.
It's like a shot of B12 in the arm or whatever.
Give me more. I need it.
Well, we're helping keep it alive by talking about it.
We are.
We're doing God's work here,
Here you go, man. Yeah.
But let us know in the comments. Obviously, you will already. I don't even have to tell you that. We have some awesome commenters. So you can check us out a couple times a week doing these silly videos about industry talk. And if you really like it, you can check us out on Patreon, where we're going to be doing some exclusive content starting this month. So thank you very much for watching.
Thanks. Bye.